Hello, welcome all. Welcome to UXTalks Season 3. Thanks for joining Sunday evening and taking time for this group session. So, yeah, so we have a very interesting topic today. So today's topic is on user journey map. So a very great speaker today. So I will introduce. Okay, so before that, just quickly about UX Talk. So my name is Tushar Deshmukh. I'm a founder and CEO for UX Expert. Is a IT company which I run in a Pune-based India, which is we do design development, but UX is a core UX usability user psychology. Also, I have 2-3 more startups, which is for usability and for mentoring. I'm also mentor on ADPList. Okay, it is today is not about me. So let's start with our topic. Recently, UX Talk and ADPList, we are collaborate for these activities. UX Talk I started as a webinar activity when we are in a pandemic and everyone is at home, and that time we started this activity. Then recently, as I said, ADPList, Felix, and we come together and started this platform so that the topic related design, UX, we can take and we can spread knowledge. That is the idea behind this. This all UX talks and group sessions. Once again, thanks for joining. So today we have Riya Chakravarty as a speaker, and I welcome her. Thanks, Riya, for joining and giving time for today's talk. So I will introduce her. She has very huge experience, almost 13 years in design in various. She has worked with various domains, I will say. She started as a journalist. She worked with a very reputed media houses in India, and now she has worked as a UX writer, content writer. She worked for SEO and whatnot. Okay, and now she is working with very great profile. So before we start, Riya, I will request you just talk about yourself first. Then obviously we will come to our core topic. Because see, UX talks more, it is for it is like, so everyone's journey is inspirational. So I think you are for inspiration for all young people who are, they are always in confusion whether I'm not a design student, what should I take as a career, and your journey is very inspirational. And you work with media houses with different domain. Now you work with international brand. You must have used Jira and other excellent top products. So she is a brain behind those designs. So quickly, just you can start with your just a little bit journey, and you can start with our core topic. We follow some protocols. Please, if you have any questions, you can shoot question on a Zoom chat. So obviously the relevant questions we will take, and we try to cover, it's a group discussion, so we try to cover questions, and Riya will answer those questions. So I have a few questions also, so I will ask few questions to Riya. Okay, Riya, you can please start.
Yeah, thanks, Tushar, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining on a Sunday evening and giving time for this session. So for my introduction, I'm Riya. I've recently moved to Bangalore from Delhi and made this my home, this city my home. I'm a content designer at Atlassian. So Atlassian is basically a software product company which creates products for others, for software companies, for other software companies. Some of our products are Jira, Confluence, Trello, Obscene. And at Atlassian, I work for the billing and purchasing platform, designing their billing and purchasing platforms. And as a content designer, I look at the user experience side of Atlassian billing and purchasing from content perspective. So designers generally work on the visual aspects of design. My profile is on looking at all the information, instruction, the text aspect of design. And also at the same time, I'm involved with the UX writing community in the country, and I'm generally through mentorship, I kind of help early starters to find their way into UX writing and content design, which is a relatively new field, at least in India. Yeah, so before that, I worked for a travel e-commerce company called Hotel Beds for around 6.5 years as a content lead, where I set up their content team, and I used to manage a global content team there. And as part of that job, I've done everything under the realm of content, be it SEO, social media, content writing, product strategy, and everything, video marketing, podcast, everything whatever comes under the realm of content. And yes, I began my career as a journalist. I've worked with media outfits like the Helka and NTTV before I decided to move on to the digital content space and user experience specifically. That's about me. And hobbies, I'm a huge and watching movies, and I have a knack of upcycling things out of waste paper, waste plastic, and bottles and all those things. So that's how I spend my time. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, you can.
So so today I'm going to talk about user journey maps, and there are a lot of things about user journey maps, but what specifically I'm just kind of made it to touch on the basics of user journey maps, how to build, how to come up with the user journey map, and also one of the important aspects of user journey maps is the journey mapping process, the workshop that you need to do with your organization, your team members, to come up with these maps. So I will be generally talking about that process, and in the end, we can have the Q&A session moving forward. So, so the agenda for today is that I'll talk about what is a journey map, why and when do you need one, how to create a user journey map, how to run a journey mapping workshop. So so let's start. So to begin with, let's go on the basics, that what is a map. So according to National Geographic, a map is a symbolic representation of selected characteristics of a place. It presents information about the world in a simple visual way. Now, those who create a map are called cartographers. So when it comes to creating maps, cartographer generally, create those visual representations to learn about places. It's an illustration of where things are. It simplifies complex spaces, create shared understanding, and reveal hidden insights about our world. So Cartographers, they generally collect data. They look at physical traits like landmass, roads, natural resources, and political boundaries to understand the characteristics of that place and how it affects the climate, the people, and economic activities. There are several types of map projections as well as several methods used to achieve these projections. Now, similarly, as a designer, our work involves humans who use our products and services. Just like cartographers, we need to understand what they do, what their needs are, and how they make decisions. Mapping allows designers to simplify a complex space, like cartographers, like a physical political map or a world map. It allows to create shared understanding, simplify a complex space, reveal hidden insights, and coordinate actions. So journey mapping allows designers to use the power of maps to solve modern UX challenges. So what is a user journey map? Now, user journey maps are a representation of the experience a person has as they go through a process or try to complete a task. It's a detailed visual breakdown of all the smaller events that make up the larger experience. These are the activities that we identify through a user journey map and look for opportunities so that we get closer to the ideal user experience and design what our users are seeking. So the journey has stages, and each stage has a series of activity a user goes through. So according to Nielsen Norman Group, which is like they generally have come up with the series of theories for and on how to do user journey maps and other UX, how to use other UX tools. In its most basic form, journey mapping starts by compiling a series of user goals and actions into a timeline. Next, the timeline is fleshed out with user thoughts and emotions in order to create a narrative. And finally, that narrative is condensed into a visualization used to communicate insights that will inform design processes. So why and when do you need a user journey map? User journey maps fit within the design cycle and are particularly helpful during the empathize and define phases of design. So by breaking larger experience into its many smaller parts, we are better able to understand the specific challenges that a person encounters. Building empathy and understanding of those challenges. It helps to understand someone else's experience, and it can also help define a problem. The goal of a user journey map isn't just to create a timeline, it's to encourage empathy and help designers and stakeholders understand how their customers' needs and feelings fluctuate over the course of their journey when they're using the product on their services. So why do you need a user journey map? It's to visualize the end-to-end user experience. Now, all experience, whether large or small, like something like shopping, even for like shopping for groceries, designing a course for students, or simply planning a trip, all include many smaller experiences that we may not think much about. Journey maps help us understand the positives and negatives of any experience. A user journey map is more than just boxes and arrows. It can show what a particular user type is doing, thinking, and feeling as they use our products and services. They help everyone to see where the pain points are in a user journey and where opportunities might be. often more importantly, they help everyone to get a shared understanding of how all the individual parts of a product and a service relate as a whole from a user's perspective. And also it helps tell better stories um, to the stakeholders and help designers to get a buy-in for whatever they're building or designing about the experience. So to on an effective user journey map is one that promotes empathy and provides a clear vision for improving customer interactions. Now, there are no rules about what exactly a visualization of that has to look like, but just make sure when you're working with user journey maps is that however you create it, it should be a simplified representation of a complex process or experience that gets people from various parts of the business on the same page. The focus should not be on specific technique, but rather on the broader concept of value alignment. So how to create a user journey map? Now, most journey maps follow a similar format. So like here in this illustration, you can see that at the top, a specific user, a specific scenario and corresponding expectations or goals. That's the first thing that we kind of define. And then in the middle, it's the high level phases, the journey, the different stages through which a user goes through. And what are the user actions, thoughts, and emotions at each of those phases. And then at the bottom are the takeaways. So the opportunities, insights, and internal ownership. So what are the things that as designers or the stakeholders who are involved in that process can do to meet those customer needs and identify those pain points. So that's how a customer user journey map looks like. So journey maps combine two very powerful instruments. So it's a way of storytelling as well as visualization. And both these instruments help teams understand and address customer needs. So a good customer journey map should start with a story and that's or a scenario, for a better term, where which should read something like a person with characteristics A, B, C, who is trying to accomplish, say, a goal A, usually goes through phases X, Y, Z, and experiences product D through the customer touch points J, K, L. Now, a story like this, whatever problem that you are trying to solve or whatever scenarios you're trying to tap through your user journey map, try to put those scenarios into this sentence or into this statement. And what you will get when you do that are the different key components of user journey maps. So where when you look at a person with characteristics A, B, C is the actor, the persona, the user that whose point of view you're trying to define through the journey map. Then accomplish goal A becomes your scenario and expectations, the situations that the journey map addresses and is associated with an actor's, like the user's goal or need and specific expectations. Then goes through phases X, Y, Z are journey phases, the different high level stages in the journey. Then comes the actions, mindsets, and emotions, which is experiencing the product that you have designed, that they are using, that caters to their needs. So these are the behaviors, thoughts, and feelings the user has throughout the journey, and that are mapped within each of those journey phases. Then are customer touch points, which are the opportunities which are windows for the UX designer, for designers, for the stakeholders, to where they gain insights. They speak to how the user experience can be optimized. These are insights and opportunities. They help the team to draw knowledge from the map. For example, what needs to be done with this knowledge? Who owns what change? Where are the biggest opportunities? How are we going to measure improvements we implement? So the opportunities is the work that we have to do for our customers. How can we best serve our customers? So the customer touch points kind of bring those aspects of user design, of user journey maps. So here is an example. If we of a simple user journey map. It's a simple, straightforward map based on an individual user's experience. So as like you can see here, there is Sarah, which is the persona for this user journey map. So she is the actor. It's her journey that we are tracking. So the scenario and expectation is that she's going out to the movies with her friends at night and looking for a good movie and having a good time with her friends. The journeys that you can see, that what she does is she has to decide which movie to watch, how she will travel to the theater because she's going on out at night. What's the movie watching experience with her friends? And finally, how would she get back home? Because it's night and, she has to she has to make sure that she reaches home safely. So we are kind of, in this journey, we look at opportunities where we can help Sarah complete that task, meet her expectations. And so we list down what are the things she's going to do through this user journey map. And then we look at opportunities. So, and we kind of visualize, we kind of create a story around that, around her actions. So here you see that, that when she decides, and in the decide phase, when she decides which theater she should go. So, there we kind of look at, we're kind of marking her, that what she is thinking, that, she's thinking that which is the closest theater that I can go to, because it's in the evening time. Maybe safety is a factor for her. Then next is travel. So how bad is the traffic? She's probably driving to the theater. And then reaching at the theater, where will I meet my friend, or where is she? And, probably is looking for the seat. Then it's the movie watching experience. How comfortable is it? She's found her friend, she's parked her car, she's in the movie theater, she's watching the movie. Are the seats comfortable? She's enjoying that experience with her friend. Then finally, the movie is over. She exits the theater. She looks for her car in the parking area. And so, she's kind of looking for a car, that where is my car? It's dark, it's night. So how am I going to, so it's so late. So, I need to rush to the house to get up early. So these are the kind of things that we design. These are the kind of visualizations we do to kind of create a user journey map, and have look at those pain points and opportunities where we can reach Sarah's needs, reach our customers' needs, and help them complete a task, help them move from point A to point B. Also, a user journey map can be as complex as this one. This is a railway journey map of Rail Europe, created by IBM's Director of Design, Chris Risden. It shows the phases in a trip through Europe by train. So in the top part, it describes the experience people have when traveling. At the bottom are the opportunities for the business. And the interaction between the two are embedded in the middle of the diagram. So when you create a user journey map, it's very important to not only look at customer needs, but also to align those customer needs with the business goals, with the opportunities that the business can create for their users. So when you're building a user journey map, you need to kind of look at both the sides, and then in between the user journey map will give you a picture of how, at what point can we reach out to the customers, what can we build for our users. So coming to this point, how to run a journey mapping workshop. So a journey mapping workshop is basically the first step to you create a user journey map, where it's not something that designers do to kind of to come up with solutions, but it's more to addressing customer needs, to kind of see and get the entire team together on the same page, on how can we address user problems, and how can we reach out to them and build the products and services which cater to their needs. So there are few house rules, which is, first, you get feedback on initial proposal and include them in your investigation. So a mismatch of expectations early on can lead to problems later on. So frame your intent clearly from the outset, particularly when multiple stakeholders are involved. Tell them what you are planning to do, what is the scenario that you're looking at. So create that initial proposal. What are the motivations? What are the opportunities that you want to create? So it's like a pitch that you need to create first to kind of get everyone on the same page, like I've covered it before in the earlier slides. Then don't make mapping a solitary effort. Co-create the visualization. So understand that you won't be able to design every touch point. There may be interactions you can't choose or choose not to control. Or there might be scenarios that you might have not thought about, but another person who's involved in what you are trying to look at, and in that customer needs, and that person might bring a new perspective to the user journey exercise. So co-create, bring the team together to create that experience. Then be sure to involve stakeholders and team members. So remember, the objective is not just to create a visualization, but to engage others in conversations and develop solutions together as a team. That also helps the team to be involved in that process. So the journey mapping process generally goes through 4 steps. First is initiate, then you investigate, then you illustrate, that is when you are doing the workshop, and share out, which is basically you get a lot of data, a lot of insights, and and charting out the next steps. So initiate. So in the initiate stage, you write a proposal. So proposal is a statement of intent that why a user journey mapping is required. A proposal need not be time consuming or extensive. It need not be like a report or a 4-5 pages document. Keep it simple by mentioning the reason why you are embarking on a workshop. What's the aim of the activity? List the objectives, the participants who are involved, the expected outcome of the workshop, the experience you're intending to map, and assumptions, risks, and constraints that you feel might come while doing these user journey maps. Then identify your organization's goals and strategies. Like I said before, it's very important that you align customer needs with what your business goals and strategies are. Because if you don't do that, there will be a mismatch. and you might not be able to justify why you want to do a user journey map. What are you trying to look for? So journey maps must be relevant to the organization, and here some questions to ponder would be: how does your business create, deliver, and capture value? What are its strategic goals? What are the gaps in knowledge? uh, you're kind of understanding also your business objectives, so that you can map to meet your customers' needs. And then create personas. So describe the user that you are focusing on, the actor of your journey map. Personas should reflect common patterns of behaviors, needs, and emotions that your users have. So research about your user, build a hypothetical persona for your users, so that we can tap on what the characteristics of that particular actor is, what that what your actor generally does on a day-to-day basis, that what profession is your actor in. So those inputs about your personas, about your user, will help you to kind of design the user journey map. And all of this should be included in that proposal, that pitch, which will initiate the user journey mapping. So next is the investigate. It's about researching the experience. So review what, take advantage of existing sources of information, such as user testing, testing, market research, customer reviews, any surveys that your company has done. Pick through and identify relevant bits that will help in your journey mapping. Note any relevant facts or observations. Determine the impact of finding on the individual's experiences. Then interview internal stakeholders. Talk to your stakeholders who have direct contact with your users. Ask them about their perspective on the customer experience. Find out what they think people experience when interacting with their organizations. And finally, analyze that data, consolidate all that you've gathered and group these by topics. You'll see there'll be patterns, similar patterns that have emerged. So bring your investigation into greater focus. That will help you tell your stakeholders during the user journey mapping, what exactly are you trying to find? What are the scenarios and expectations you're looking at? It'll help you decide which experiences to focus on when visualizing and illustrating your journey map. Then comes the illustration stage. So it's like, so finally you have your people, you have your, and you decide on to do a journey mapping workshop. You got the buy-in for that journey mapping workshop. So the first thing first is you decide on your team. So like I said in the previous slides, that journey mapping is a collaborative process. So create a cross-functional team, involve products designers, content designers, engineers, marketing people, whoever you think might help in doing the journey mapping. So as a facilitator, bring everyone on the same table, and just find those people in your organization who can help you design the maps and be your workshop participants. Then determine the journey, run through what you're going to do, who the actor is, and what his or her scenarios are. And all these inputs you'll get through the research that you've done at the investigate phase. So clearly show the time blocks for each part and the desired goal of the workshop. Explain to your participants what you're looking to achieve with the map. Make this clear and visible throughout as participants. When they are involved with the user journey mapping, it does happen. It's very natural to veer off track, and so defining the journey, determining what you are trying to do during the workshop helps to keep everyone on track. Then, what action did the customer or you have, or the participants have to take. So ask participants to write on a sticky note what actions they have to take throughout a journey, and then collectively post up. So basically for user journey workshops, if you're doing it on a physical setup in an office or something, it's generally done with like on a whiteboard, where you give participants sticky notes and you ask them that according to you, what does a customer do at this stage? What are their factors? What are the motivations? So ask participants to write it on those sticky notes and stick those on that whiteboard. If it's online, since we all are online these days, there are a lot of tools to do journey mapping. There is Miro, there is Mural, there is FigJam. So they have really good templates to conduct journey mapping workshops. So take advantage of those tools, utilize those tools, and to involve your participants. Then comes challenges, pain points. So what challenges or pain point that the participants think that their users encounter as a result of the actions that they took, which they think the customers take. So capture all of those things and ask them to write it on the sticky notes. Then is thoughts and feelings. So ask your participants what thoughts may arise while working through these challenges. So on that, how this works is that on that whiteboard, add a horizontal line where positive feelings can go above that line and negative below that line. The negative feelings, the pain points can go below that line. So you will see that your participants, the way they are discussing that, it creates a roller coaster of emotions to highlight the peaks and troughs throughout the journey. And that will help, and that will kind of help you visualize that what a customer goes through, how that user is going through those maps. Then once that activity is done, the sticky notes are up on the wall. Give participants a time limit to silently generate needs statement. That is kind of building those customer scenarios, that what have, ask them to go through those pain points, the actions, the challenges, and bring everything together. Ask each participants what they think, that what process are they going through, what are the pain points. Like in that movie user journey map, we showed that the Sarah was going to a movie at night. So there might be a participant who says that, oh, she's traveling at night, so safety might be a concern for us. So that becomes a pain point, and you add it onto that wall. Then after discuss and synthesize, you do what is called a future state visioning, where using the identified pain points as catalyst, participants can come up with abstract ideas that align to known frustrations within the journey. So now we've kind of said what the pain points are, what are the problems that they face. So it's useful to encourage participants to think big and use metaphors to express those ideas, so that they don't jump to specific solutions too soon. And user journey mapping exercises, these workshops should not be solutioning. It's just kind of understanding our customers better. Then create consolidated future state flows. So here, divide your participants into small groups and combine the most powerful ideas and strongest aspects into one big map, which is the journey map, which reflects a future state journey for the scenario that's been discussed. So all of this illustration, at the end of it, you'll see that you've come up with a journey map. And finally, so these are some of the visuals of a journey map, how it's done. So if it's in a physical setup, this is how it it looks on a wall. So the green will be the opportunities, the blue will be the pain points that we're looking at. There are generally some parking lot questions which we don't have any answers to when we do user journey mappings. That's also perfectly fine, because that helps us create those future state visioning, that the questions that we might need, but we might need to address later on. So that's how. So if you're doing it on a Miro, it kind of, you have the actions, the questions, and you set up the sticky notes on that tool to kind of come up with what's happening, what the journey phases are, what the stages of that journey are. So it kind of looks, so these are some of the examples of how it looks visually, how when you're doing a journey map, how it comes up, how does that board come up with. Finally, it's the share out phase. So here, it's generally, you capture the workshop outputs by taking, the best way to do is to take pictures of each artifact and action, shots of participants working through the activities. Then share these activities in a central repository for reference, and capture the next steps and action items in one place for the entire team. Here you have to identify the common themes, the patterns, which can help in the future for teams to come up with the solutions for the problems that we've identified through the user journey maps. Next is bring the ideas to life. The participants have left the workshop with several strong flows and new interactions, which are captured on those sticky notes. Now use these to create low fidelity prototypes of those flows and test them with customers to kind of validate what you found out. And continue to make changes, adaptations based on the user feedback from real customers. Then it's about keep refining the process. So the user journey exercise, the workshop does not end there. You continue to tweak and refine the activities, to be the most successful and productive. And what are the actions that as a company, as a business, we need to take, and how we can align those customer needs with the business goals. So keep iterating and reiterating on that process. It does happen sometimes that after one user journey map, you would need to do another one to kind of refine and dig more into what a customer needs. And also, with this exercise, it really helps to have everyone on the same page. So this is the process for a user journey map. And so I think I'll just open the forum for Q&A here. If there are any questions or anything.
Yeah, thanks, Riya. I think that was very, very detailed explanation of what is journey map. I hope participants also enjoyed it. They got a lot of information. Yes, we have questions, so I will just read out some. So Julio is asking, what is the difference between mental maps and user journeys? Mental maps and difference between mental maps and user journeys.
So actually, there are different visualization tools, and I did not wanted to kind of complicate things on this talk. So mental maps is just a way of visualizing, and it's the same thing. See, ultimately, we are trying to understand what our customer needs are, and there are different ways of doing. So there are mental maps, there is empathy mapping, there are alignment diagrams that we do. So user journey is one of the visual tools, so is mental maps. While user journey mapping is more focused on getting opportunity to kind of bring the opportunities into the fore, that what opportunities as a business we have to solve a customer problem, mental maps dig more into the psychology of the customers. So they would generally, look at what some, so mental models can also involve user testing insights, what users are thinking when they are doing that task. So these are all visualizing techniques. These are all UX tools that we use, but it's very similar. It all depends on what works for you and what you are trying to look for.
Right. Chok is asking similar line question again. What is difference between user journeys and user flows? So
yeah, so there is a difference. So user journeys are generally we look at. So if I go to my presentation, and I think that will be easier. So in this example, for example, so user journey are those phases, the stages that you go through. So there is decide, travel, experience, return. These are the journey phases. So in a user journey, you see those. User flows, on the other hand, are the tasks that they do on your screens, on your flows. So for example, Sarah here, she comes, there is a movie booking app, for example, and she's on that app and she's kind of trying to look which movie to book. So she goes on that app and she looks at the movie, recommended what is going on, what are the movies that are going on, and she clicks on that movies. Then we also might give her recommendations on that app that, okay, do you want me to book a cab to reach your nearest theater? So whatever a user is doing inside your product, inside your service, is what user flows are. You can use a user journey map to create those flows. So that's how it's said. User journeys are generally the first step. Like I said, that in the design process, user journey maps generally come. So user journey maps generally come at the first two processes of design cycle. So it's generally at the empathy and the define stage. But when it comes to defining flows, having user flows, it's generally at the ideate stage or at the prototyping stage that you create those flows.
Right. So there is some connected question. So user flow is more within micro within the journey. It is like
yes, absolutely. Right. And it can, user flows can also be the result of those journeys. The insights that you get through a user journey map can help you build user flows.
So one more question from I think, I'm sorry for wrong pronunciation, but it's Luigi, I think, asking question. So user mapping align the user needs in making of UX design. So in analogy terms, I think question is there. How does the user mapping align the user needs of making UX design?
As UX designers, as UX designs, we advocate for our customers' needs. And so a user mapping is by far the easiest and the most useful way to reach what our customer needs. So if we need to, so as UX designers, you generally when you're working on, say, building a product, you are part of a team where a product designer, maybe a product manager, a dev engineer, and a designer, everybody's sitting and kind of deciding what solutions to build, what are the scenarios that we are looking at. UX designers generally talk for the customers. They talk on the experience side of things, and user mapping helps to bring that experience, to visualize that experience. So it's very important. So and it's after a user mapping, after you build a journey, you kind of look at those opportunities. You kind of tap those user needs that which have come out of that user journey, and that leads to the lo-fi prototypes. So the first prototypes that you build, you can always talk to your stakeholders and tell them that, this is the user journey map we did, and these are the insights that have come out of it. And based on these insights, this is what we have built. And this is what we need to test with real users to validate that what we identifies that user needs, are we able to address them? So it's a very important tool in the UX design.
Right. Rakib is asking how to decide features and information architecture from affinity map. This question little bit different, not on the journey map, but still, if you want to have some.
So like I said, in that affinity maps, mental model, alignment diagrams, they're all visualization methods. They are all mapping techniques. But the ultimate goal of all these techniques are to understand a user, what are the user's needs are. So even from an affinity map can tell you, affinity map generally looks at what the user's likes and dislikes are. So it kind of brings you closer to your users, to a user. And so if you are deciding on a feature, for example, if you're using an affinity map, then it generally will tell you that, okay, so what does your user like? And what are the features we can build that can map their likeness? What will make that user come to our, use our product? Because of what their desires or what they like or dislike. So you kind of map those through affinity maps. And information architecture, again, it's the same thing. So for information architecture, generally we look at what are the things that a user might see, would like to see first, through whatever. So for example, if somebody likes to watch a movie, and we are creating an affinity map for a website, for a movie app or a movie website, the first thing that they're going to focus on is probably movie recommendations, weekly movie recommendations. And that recommended movies section might be the first thing in that information architecture. So
right. I think that will also help to identify pain point or an empathy. So this affinity map is more about. Okay, so Nilam is asking, do we have to trace users' day-to-day activity in a map, or do we have to anticipate his tasks for our future products?
With user journey maps, it's a good question. So, so with the user journey map, it's generally the user's day-to-day activity. Because if you start anticipate, and also there is a certain anticipation, but at this stage, at the mapping phase, we are not looking at coming up with the product yet. In most of the, we still are not sure what we want to build. So we're trying to figure out what features to build, what solutions to come up. So it's very important to understand that user journey is not the solution. It's solution building. Right. So that's why you have to be, so it depends on what the scenario is, what you're trying to track about that user. So if you're trying to track something with that they do day to day, then you can add those into your user journey map. Or if you're looking at something that probably they just do it once in a while, then then you just track that part of their tasks. So it depends what exactly the scenario or the actions that you're trying to track with the user journey mapping.
Felix has one question. Should user be included in the user journey map workshop, or who should be in the session?
Absolutely. So there are certain times that the companies do involve users in user journey mapping, and that really helps, because we are getting first-hand information from our users. So if possible, definitely, because even users are a stakeholder when we are building features, when we're building products. And it's very it's great if a user can be part of that user journey exercise, then definitely users should be and it brings closer to the pain points and opportunities. So definitely they should be included in a journey map workshop. And other than that, whoever's involved with the with the product that or the feature that we're building should be included in a user journey map. It can be product managers, it can be the devs, the engineers who have to build that capability. Even CEOs, sometimes, especially in startups in this, that the co-founders, the CEOs also become part of the user journey exercise. So it's on the facilitator, it's on the designer who they are the ones who need to decide who they want to involve in, like, for example, when I have done user journey mapping, I involved the customer service teams because they are the ones who are interacting with the customers on a day-to-day basis. Then they understand the customer actions and pain points much better than others do. So I try to involve the customer facing teams there to understand. So whoever, as a facilitator, whoever you think can help you bring more closer to the customer should be involved in the journey mapping.
Jiveshwar is asking, can we explain the two different user journey together in a single journey map, like doctor or patients?
It's so user journeys should be simple, and I think getting to user scenarios, again, there has to be an actor, and you can't have two actors in one user journey because our doctors might do something different. For example, like, if you're looking at a doctor patient, doctors are looking at patients while patients are looking for advice or coming for treatment. So both have very different way of functioning. And so it's if you get both the things together, then you need to know that probably look at a scenario. If there is a scenario where the doctor and patient are coming together, something like for example, we have a Practo app, for example, where patients can book doctors appointments through the app. Now there, if for example, they come up with a chatbot where a doctor and a patient both will interact,
Right.
then we can look at it. But it's advisable to have, because both have different expectations. They have different actions.
Where it is overlap, so then we can consider.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That if there's an overlap, then why not? But it's wise to have one actor for every user
Right.
journey.
I think just okay. We take one last question. So, do you have any difference to journey maps in a product and service-based companies?
There is, so it all depends on what the companies, what your business goal and strategy are. If it's a service-based company, then the user journey maps will focus more on the service, that what services you can provide when you look at a customer journey map or when you're addressing a need. Whereas in products, again, if you're building a product, you see your customer's pain point through that perspective. So again, it's all depends on what your company strategy and goals are, and how you can align that with the customer needs and what you are building at the end of the day. So it's irrespective of product or service or both sometimes. So it depends that what the business goals are ultimately.
Right. I think the last question is like, can we integrate these mapping findings in the charts and graphs?
Absolutely. More visual, more better. Whatever works in helping others, your team, your stakeholders, to understand the opportunities, the pain points, uh, any anything, any visualization works there. So like as content designers, if I talk about product designers and content designers, they're all mostly part of the same team. And so designers generally are more visual. So they go with charts and graphs. They'll make Figma. They sometimes make prototypes, lo-fi prototypes. But at the same time, content designers are more comfortable with Excel sheets. So we create Excel sheets, we create reports. So it all depends on how best can you represent your findings, and any visualization for that matter works.
Thanks. I don't want to take your Sunday for long time. Definitely, we are hosting this on our channel. So whoever is late joining or they want to see recordings, they can be check on channels. So we are very thanks, Riya, once again. I know you just recovering from and thanks for giving time. So so stay tuned for ADPList and UXTalks. I've just posted our next two talks. One is for time management and stress. Speaker is Ravindra. He's a scientist in a software scientist. He's a work with a lot of space agencies, but he's talking on how to stress management in a productive corporate and everything. I'm requesting him to talk about software in UX later on, but right now Ravindra is focusing on time management and everything. Next we have Chris. Chris is the author for Human Computer Interaction books. He's going to talk on UX portfolio. So stay tuned. ADPList, UXTalks in. Riya is also mentor on ADPList. So if you have any, I know within the very small time to cover huge topic of UX or journey map. So definitely you can reach out through LinkedIn or ADP platform and stay connected with us. Stay safe. Thanks once again, Riya, for this beautiful session.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned for next sessions. Take care. Bye.